Hi everybody, I cannot believe we are up to day 12 of our 14-day epic spiritual fitness plan. If you're just joining, it is not too late. 3 days left is not nothing. It's actually a great way to begin because today I'm going to talk to you about something that is incredibly important to greasing the wheels of having a meaningful, successful, fulfilled life. And that is called happiness. Which you're probably thinking, okay, well, this is something I am familiar with and have heard before. But actually, working on our joy and happiness is an absolute essential if we want to do great in personal development and if we want to shine when it comes to our new Jewish year. And it's very much a part of Jewish thought when it comes to working on ourselves, which is what life is all about after all. So what is this toxic thought that happens that gets in the way of our being happy? Well, there's a couple of answers here, but I'm only going to focus on one. The toxic thought that we, and by we I mean I, will definitely get tripped up on when it comes to our happiness is, what do I need? So for example, this morning, I woke up early, I got everybody ready to go to work, and I'm someone who likes to be on time. Like if I'm not early, I'm late type of person. And by the time I was ready to get my kids in the car, I was like a bundle of stress. I just need you to get into the car. Like that's all I could think about. So obviously what was getting between me and my happiness was, what do I need out of this situation? And obviously it is also sometimes important to be aware of what our goal is, but it will be a deterrent for happiness if we're only thinking about what I need. In my workplace with colleagues and employees, if I'm only thinking about what I need, I am in big trouble. In fact, it's specifically with people who are even working that you're supervising. If you think, what do I need from this person? This is going to be a perfect recipe for disaster. The only way to success is if you think to yourself, what does this person need? What does this person need for their success? And they will be so thankful that you having this attitude that they're going to want to reciprocate. Every life situation in the whole world, there's nothing that you can throw at me that does not have this answer. If we fall into the trap of asking ourselves, what do I need from this situation? We're in big trouble. Imagine at your job, if you went around feeling like, what do the other people in this office need from me? What do my clients need from me? Imagine your marriage. Imagine how your spouse would feel if you were thinking, what does he or she need from me? Not what do I need from them? What does he or she need from me? Imagine how that would transform that relationship. There is no life situation that won't be transformed from this thought. Let's say there's a different obstacle to your being happy. Let's say you have some serious challenging circumstances. For example, you've been looking for a soulmate for such a long time and you have yet to find yours. Or you've been struggling with fertility for a long time. Or you're having trouble in your career, getting promoted or getting to the next level in your career. Or maybe you're suffering from chronic pain. This is something that unfortunately a lot of people experience as a huge obstacle to happiness. A loss of a loved one is another example to an obstacle in your happiness. What? How are we supposed to be happy in the face of those things? Answer, I'm waiting. So the answer is, I don't know why I'm here. I don't know what I'm doing in this really dark place. All I know is that if I'm here, if I'm in this really dark place, and there must be some sort of inner work for me to do here in this place now. I don't know why. All I know is that I'm here. And since I can't control the reason that I'm here, then all I can control is figure out, what am I supposed to do now that I am here? So, I'll tell you, people who are in very dark places, they learn very quickly this rule. And in fact, Viktor Frankl, who wrote Man's Search for Meaning, he, a Holocaust survivor, has a very famous quote set that says, it is between our stimulus, the gap between our stimulus and response, that is going to be what counts the most. If we can widen that gap between what's happened to us and what's happening to us and how we're responding to it, that is going to be where we can find our greatness. If we relinquish the reins and just focus on where our efforts need to be poured in, that's going to be how we are going to be able to hone in on the fact that, not that we're suffering, but the fact that we're going to be happy and finding the meaning and fulfillment in our lives. not despite the circumstances, but because of those circumstances. I personally have suffered from miscarriages, and I remember asking all these different people, I do the right thing, I don't understand, why am I suffering so much? The best answer that I ever received was from a great person who said to me that the reason it could be that I'm suffering so much is that maybe the only thing I have to gain from this situation is this thing called acceptance. That was a very profound thing for me to hear. It wasn't that I needed to do more on my to-do list of kind deeds for others, and I needed to pray harder, and I needed to, no. Sometimes acceptance is the thing that is going to be what our inner work is to do. Aaron, who was Moses' brother, he lost two sons, two holy sons, and he famously responded with silence. That silence teaches us that even in the most horrific situation, it is key that we are accepting of that situation. If we're not ready to relinquish those reins of our lives, we won't be happy. We're always going to be frustrated and resentful that things are not going our way, that we're not getting what we need out of our situation. When the truth is, we're getting exactly what we need, and we need to stop worrying about why we're in this mess and start worrying about how we're going to best respond to it. I'll leave you with a beautiful visual that a friend and wonderful person shared with me. Imagine a faucet that has tons of water being poured out, and the water represents joy and blessings and relationships and good things and promotions and pain, no pain, pain-free existence, and, not losses, everything that's positive and good in the world. And imagine that there's a hand on top of this faucet. And she said for the longest time, she felt like this was God's hand. And God would shut the faucet off and wouldn't let her have love and wouldn't let her have peace and wouldn't let her have joy. And he would turn it on. And what she said, she only just recently realized that when she took a closer look, she realized all that water, all that wellspring of blessing was God, but that hand that was on top of the faucet, that was hers. It is up to us if we are going to allow the abundance of good and wonder that is in our lives already be our source of happiness and appreciation. And if those things that pain us are going to be what we focus on, or if we're going to be able to say, I have something here that I can do. I'm in this murky space, and I have inner work that I can do, that I only can do from being right here, exactly where I am. And that's going to make us have a much more meaningful and fulfilling life, and ultimately a happier one. Okay, 2 more days to go. If anyone wants my Rosh Hashanah ebook, feel free to send me your email address in the link in the description of this video. Bye, everybody.